This is a recording of a lesson on 1-1 and 1-2 for applied calculus for business majors. And I had emailed you a copy of notes. If you want to print those out and listen to this recording and take notes as we go, similar to as you would if you were sitting in class, you're welcome to do that, or you can just, of course, listen. So this is 1-1 and 1-2. And what we're going to be learning in this section are equations and graphs and some real life problem situations. Something like this: how fast has tuition at public colleges been increasing in recent years? How well can we predict tuition in the future? Excellent questions that equations and graphs can model. So we use equations and graphs in real life and in business to predict the future. We take what's happened in the past, we plot it, we make a graph, and we write an equation that represents it. So before we get into doing all that fun stuff, we need to get some common vocabulary, refresh ourselves on how we plot points and what we mean when we say the coordinate system, etc. So in your notes, if you want to, you could label the coordinate system that I have for you there. It's blank. I want to make sure that you note that the vertical axis is called the y-axis, if you would label that. The horizontal axis is called the x-axis. Where they cross is called the origin. And these two lines, okay, the vertical and the horizontal axes, they cut the coordinate system into 4 quadrants. We have quadrant 1, which is the right upper quadrant, quadrant 2, which is the left upper quadrant, quadrant 3, which is the left lower quadrant, and quadrant 4, which is the right lower quadrant. Notice they use Roman numerals usually when they're talking about these quadrants. That's the vocabulary that goes along with the coordinate system, and it's how we plot points. I gave you some ordered pairs that I'd like you to plot on your coordinate system. Okay, an ordered pair has an x coordinate, the first coordinate, and a y coordinate, which is the second coordinate, and that tells you the direction to go starting at the origin. If you have a negative number, you move to the left, if it's the x coordinate. If you have a positive x coordinate, you move to the right. Your second coordinate, the y coordinate, if it's positive, you move up, and if it's negative, you move down. So here, the point -2, 4, I would start here at the origin, the 0, 0 spot, and I would move left in the x direction 2, and I would move up in the y direction 4. This is the point -2, +4. Okay, x coordinate -2, y coordinate +4. Let me write that down here. The point 0, 3. Figure out where you think that would go. Okay. So this is the point -2, 4. Okay. The point 0, 3. I don't go any in the x direction, and then I go up 3. Right here is the point 0, 3. The point 3, 2, I go to the right 3 and up 2. This is the point 3, 2. The point 1, 0, the x coordinate is 1, so I move to the right 1, but the y coordinate is 0, so I don't move up any. -5, 0, I move to the left 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I don't go up any. When the y coordinate is 0, notice you land right on the x-axis. 2, -2, I'm going to go in the positive direction 2 and the negative direction 2. So I'll be down here in the 4th quadrant. Okay, 2, -2 is right here in the 4th quadrant. -3, -4, I'm going to move -3 in the x direction and then -4 in the y direction. That's going to put me in the 3rd quadrant. Okay, I move to the left 3 and down 4. That puts me in quadrant 3. And then I have 0, -4. That doesn't put me in any quadrant. That puts me right on the y-axis, 0 in the x direction, and then down 4. Oops, I can't quite get there. Okay, so hopefully you remember how to plot points. And hopefully that jogs your memory there. X coordinate 0, down 4. Those are all called ordered pairs, okay? There's an X coordinate, first coordinate, second coordinate is the Y coordinate. And that will either land you in one of the 4 quadrants or it will land you on one of the axes, okay? You'll either land on the Y axis. You land on the Y axis, notice when the X coordinate is 0, like 0, 3. You land on the X axis when the Y coordinate is 0, like -5, 0. Okay, back to solving equations. Think about how you would solve the equation 8 equals 2x minus 7. Hopefully you remember that you would do something like add 7 to both sides. You're trying to isolate the x, right? We did this in algebra. Hopefully it's jogging your memory. We end up with 15 equals 2x, okay? When I added 7 to the -7, that went away. I added 7 to 8, I got 15. Divide by 2, and half of 15 is 7.5. So I get 7.5 or 7.5 equals x. Great. One answer, right? Just one answer. Well, we are not going to be solving equations like that. We're going to be solving something like y equals 2x minus 7. A little different than 8 equals 2x minus 7. I can't really add 7 to y because I don't know what y is. I can't divide by 2 because I don't have a number, okay? So what we're going to do instead, when we have an equation like this, there's tons of answers that we could have depending on what x is, okay? It depends what x is. So what we're going to do is make a little XY chart. Oops, sorry. Okay, I'm having trouble with my pen here. Sorry about that. We're going to make a little XY chart. Come on, eraser. And we're going to just pick anything we want for X and see what Y would be. Okay, so I have X and Y, and you guys pick whatever you would want. Okay, I can't hear you because this is a recording, so I'll just pretend like I know what you're saying. Let's say you want X to be 1. Well, that means you're going to put 1 right in here for X. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 minus 7 is -5. Maybe you want X to be 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 minus 7 is -3. Maybe you want X to be 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 minus 7 is -1. Maybe you want X to be 4. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 minus 7 is 1. Okay, maybe let's do 0. Maybe you want X to be 0. When X is 0, 2 times 0 is 0. 0 minus 7 is -7. Okay, so then we would plot these points. And that would show us a picture of all the different possibilities. Like I said, maybe it's 1, -5. Maybe it's, maybe we're at 2, -3. Okay, maybe we're at 3, -1. Okay, maybe we're at 4, 1. Okay, 4, 1. Maybe we're at 0, -7. Let's see, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 0, -7. Okay, there's lots of possibilities, and what happens is we end up finding a lot of points that are in a straight line. Okay, 3, -1 was something I didn't plot, 1, -5. Do you see it? We end up getting this straight line, and any point on this line is actually an answer to y equals 2x minus 7. Okay, any point on this line will be, if I put the x coordinate in, and it can go forever in each direction. If I put the x coordinate in and multiply by 2 and subtract 7, I'll get the y coordinate. Okay, there's my line. All right. Every line has associated with it a slope. Okay, the slope of a line is the steepness of the line. Okay, by slope we mean steepness. So we just would have a number that would represent how steep my line is. Okay, steepness is another, is a way that I describe what I mean by the word slope. When I say slope in math, we designate slope with the letter M. Lowercase m means slope. Okay, to find the slope, you pick any 2 points. Okay, and you subtract the y's and subtract the x's. So maybe I'll pick this point and this point. You can pick any 2 points you want. Okay, this is the point 4, 1. And this is the point 2, -3. I'm going to use this formula. And I'm going to take the second y and subtract the first y. That's what these little subscripts mean. Okay, so I'm going to take the second y, -3, and subtract the first y. And I'm going to take the second x, 2, and subtract the first x. Okay, so that ends up giving me -4 over -2. -4 divided by -2 is 2. All right, now some of you are saying, well, what if I picked the other one to be first? Maybe I thought this was the first y and this was the second y. That's fine. Then you would have done 1 minus -3, and you would have done 4 minus 2. You would have had +4 divided by +2. You still get 2 in the end. It doesn't matter what you pick, okay? For as long as you, it doesn't matter which points you pick. As long as you subtract the y's, subtract the x's in the correct order, then you will get the same slope, okay? Didn't matter which 2 points I picked. Another way that you can define slope is by rise over run. Rise over run means you start somewhere, any point you want. How many do you have to go up and to the right to get to your line? So I have to go up to the right 1, up to the right 1. So my slope is 2 over 1. Or maybe you picked this point, but to this point, you're trying to see how far you have to go up and over for that. Well, I'd have to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, over 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 8 over 4. Well, 8 over 4 is also 2. Okay? If you would choose to go down, then that's a negative direction. So maybe I go down 2, and then I go to the left 1. Well, down 2 is negative. To the left 1 is negative. Negative over negative. This is still a positive 2 slope. Okay, notice it's rise over run. You go vertical, then horizontal. Vertical, then horizontal. Okay, whichever way, as long as you go vertical first and then horizontal. So that's how we just talk about slope. The slope of this line is 2. I also want you to notice that in the equation, there was a 2 in front of the x. That's very important. That's because I'm in a special form, slope-intercept form, which already told, if I was aware of that, I would have known the slope of my line was going to be 2 just looking at the equation, okay? I also would know that it's going to cross the y-axis at -7, okay, because this is in the slope-intercept form. The x-intercept is where this crosses the x-axis, Okay, so my line is crossing the x-axis right here. It looks like somewhere between 3 and 4.